Have you ever wondered if the words you use every day could quietly steal your happiness and health as you age? The truth is, many seniors fall into the habit of repeating phrases that do more harm than good. Words have power, far more than we often realize. They can shape the way you feel about yourself, affect your relationships, and even influence your overall well-being. In this video, we're exposing 9 ugly words and phrases you must stop saying in old age. These are words everyone knows, but no one talks about openly. And you might be surprised at just how often they sneak into your daily conversations. Sometimes they show up as self-deprecating jokes, little complaints, or casual remarks of resignation. But make no mistake, these negative habits can quietly drain your confidence, damage your connections, and dim your hope for the future. Stay with us until the end, because for each phrase, I'll share simple strategies to replace negativity with encouragement, confidence, and respect for yourself. Now, let's get started. Word 1, it doesn't matter. At first, it doesn't matter, can sound harmless, even practical, a way to brush off small disappointments or to avoid conflict. But over time, this phrase can become a kind of armor, keeping you from expressing your needs, desires, or true feelings. For many older adults, it becomes easier to say, it doesn't matter, than to risk being a burden, voicing an opinion, or asking for something you want or need. The trouble with this habit is that it often leads to resentment, loneliness, or even a sense of invisibility. When you tell yourself and others that nothing matters, you begin to believe your preferences and happiness are not worth consideration. This can show up in little ways, like saying, it doesn't matter, when someone asks what you'd like for dinner, which television show to watch, or if you want company for a walk. The more you use it, the more you fade into the background of your own life. Take the story of Evelyn, age 79, who always went along with whatever her family suggested, telling herself it was easier not to make a fuss. One day, her granddaughter asked what cake she wanted for her birthday, and without thinking, Evelyn replied, it doesn't matter. But deep down, she wished for chocolate cake, just like she used to have as a child. It took courage, but the next year, she spoke up, and it made her birthday feel special again. Experts say that sharing your preferences is not selfish, it's a way to stay engaged with life and let others care for you in meaningful ways. Try swapping, it doesn't matter, for honest answers, even if they're small. Your voice and your choices truly do matter at any age. Word 2, I'm too old. Few phrases have the power to quietly sap your spirit like the words, I'm too old. It can show up in countless ways, when you think about starting a new hobby, making a friend, moving somewhere new, or learning something you've never done before. With just 3 little words, you set a limit on yourself and close the door on possibilities, sometimes before you even give them a real chance. Age does bring changes, and some things are harder than they used to be. But the idea that being too old means you're finished growing, learning, or enjoying life is one of the most damaging myths out there. It's a story our society tells, but it's simply not true. There are 80-year-olds taking up painting for the first time, 75-year-olds starting their own businesses, and 90-year-olds who join book clubs or travel to places they've always dreamed of visiting. Let's remember Larry, age 80, who always wanted to play the piano. He finally bought a keyboard and started taking lessons. At first, the learning curve was steep, and some days his fingers just wouldn't cooperate. But Larry didn't let I'm too old stop him from trying. And now he plays simple songs for his grandchildren, who love to dance and sing along. Experts say that every time you say, I'm too old, you reinforce a negative self-image and rob yourself of the joy that comes from surprise and discovery. Swap that phrase for, why not me, or, it's never too late. You'll be amazed at how your outlook and your energy change when you leave room for new adventures. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Word 3, I can't. Few words are as limiting or as quietly destructive as, I can't. It's one of those phrases that slips out when something feels difficult, unfamiliar, or a little bit scary. Over the years, you may have noticed yourself saying it more often, whether you're asked to try a new technology, join a group, or even just get up and go for a walk on a chilly morning. It feels like a safe way to avoid embarrassment or failure, but it's really just building walls around your life. Every time you say, "I can't," you reinforce the idea that there are doors forever closed to you, that you're not able or worthy of trying. But the truth is, most limitations start in the mind, not in the body. Even if you need help or need to do things differently, that doesn't mean you can't do them at all. Think about the story of Jean, who at 82 decided to learn how to use her new phone so she could video call her grandchildren. She struggled, got frustrated, but never let "I can't" have the last word. Instead, she found small ways to say, "I'll try," or "Let's see what happens." Experts agree that swapping "I can't" for more open phrases like "I'll give it a shot" or "I'll need some help with that" can shift your mindset, boost your self-confidence, and keep you open to new experiences. The world is full of things worth trying, even if you have to do them in your own way and at your own pace. The next time "I can't" starts to form on your lips, take a breath and give yourself permission to try, even if it's just one small step forward. Word 4, I'm a burden. Among all the painful words you can say about yourself, "I'm a burden," is one of the heaviest. It's a phrase that quietly settles into your heart when you need help, rely on others for rides or errands, or ask your family to spend time with you. Even if your loved ones reassure you, the thought might linger, making it harder to reach out when you really need support. This belief can create distance between you and the people who care for you. It can lead to loneliness, guilt, or a reluctance to accept kindness, all of which only make life harder. What you might not see is that offering care brings loved ones a sense of purpose, connection, and even joy. People feel needed and valued when they get to help someone they love. Think of Helen, age 83, who hesitated to ask her son for help with grocery shopping after she stopped driving. She worried about interrupting his busy life, telling herself she was a burden. When she finally opened up, her son shared how much he cherished their weekly outings, saying those moments were highlights of his week. Experts agree that accepting help is not a sign of weakness, but of trust and love. Instead of saying, "I'm a burden," try, "Thank you for being there for me." Let yourself believe that giving and receiving help is a gift that goes both ways. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Word 5, I used to be. This phrase may sound innocent, but it quietly anchors you in the past and can keep you from appreciating the present. So many older adults find themselves slipping into stories that begin with, "I used to be," or "I used to do," recalling former jobs, athletic accomplishments, or social roles that once defined who they were. While reminiscing is natural and healthy, living in the shadow of your former self can leave you feeling disconnected from who you are now. Every time you measure today's abilities, joys, or relationships against what used to be, you risk missing out on the richness of the life you're living now. It's important to honor the past, but also to recognize that every stage of life brings new strengths and new reasons to be proud. Focusing only on what's lost or what has changed can rob you of gratitude and even lead to sadness or regret. Think about Carl, age 78, who often told friends, "I used to run marathons." But after a health scare, running was no longer possible. For a while, Carl stopped participating in group activities, believing the best part of his life was over. It wasn't until he discovered the pleasure of daily walks, taking photos of birds and wildflowers, that he realized joy could look different and just as meaningful as it did years ago. Experts encourage you to notice and celebrate what you can do today rather than comparing yourself to your younger years. Instead of, "I used to be," try saying, "Today I enjoy," or "Now I'm learning." This small shift can renew your appreciation for each new season of life. Word 6, what's the use? Of all the words that sap your motivation and joy, "what's the use?" might be the most discouraging. It's a phrase that shows up when you're faced with setbacks or disappointments, and it can sneak into your thinking when you wonder if making an effort really matters. Maybe you're tempted to skip your exercises, let go of a healthy habit, or stop reaching out to friends, telling yourself there's no point in trying. This mindset is easy to understand, especially if you've had a string of hard days or if progress feels slow. But believing that nothing will change, no matter what you do, can make life feel smaller and more hopeless than it really is. The truth is, every small effort counts, even if it doesn't lead to a dramatic change. Just trying can be an act of hope, and it sets a powerful example for those around you. Consider Alice, 85, who started painting after her husband passed away. On tough days, she would think, what's the use? Nobody's going to see my paintings anyway. But she kept going, hanging her artwork in her living room. When her granddaughter came to visit and admired one of her paintings, Alice realized that her efforts did matter, even if they only brightened one person's day. Experts say that the key to overcoming this phrase is to set small, meaningful goals and celebrate every little win. When you hear yourself thinking, what's the use, try to remind yourself that your actions do matter, no matter how simple they seem. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Word 7, nobody cares. These words can creep in during moments of loneliness, disappointment, or when plans fall through and you're left feeling invisible. Nobody cares is a phrase that can quickly darken your outlook, making it easy to withdraw from friends, family, or community. The trouble is, once you start believing it, you might unintentionally push others away, missing opportunities for connection and kindness. The feeling that you don't matter is often rooted in temporary setbacks, a missed phone call, a canceled visit, or an offhand comment that stings. But letting this phrase take root can lead to real isolation. It's important to remember that people often do care, even if they sometimes fall short or get busy with their own lives. Relationships ebb and flow, but your presence is more valued than you might realize. Consider George, 80, who felt forgotten when his daughter skipped a Sunday visit. He spent the afternoon repeating, "Nobody cares." The following week, she showed up with a basket of groceries and a big hug, apologizing for being caught up at work. That moment reminded George that love is sometimes delayed, not absent. Experts suggest reaching out when you're feeling neglected. Call a friend, write a note, or volunteer in your community. The more you offer kindness, the more likely you are to receive it in return. Instead of saying, "Nobody cares," try, "Somebody will notice," or "I'll give someone a call today." This simple change can make you feel more connected and less alone. Word 8, I'm just lucky. On the surface, "I'm just lucky" might seem like a humble thing to say, especially when you're complimented for staying active, having good health, or enjoying close relationships. But this phrase can actually minimize your own efforts, wisdom, and resilience. It makes it sound as if everything good in your life happened by chance, rather than as a result of your choices, habits, and hard work. When you chalk up every positive thing to luck, you miss the opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate your strengths. You've made decisions, learned from setbacks, and cultivated relationships over a lifetime. Take the example of Nancy, age 76, whose friends always admired her positive outlook and active lifestyle. Whenever someone praised her for her energy, she'd laugh and say, "Oh, I'm just lucky." But her daughter reminded her how she made daily walks, healthy eating, and reaching out to friends a priority, none of which were accidental. Experts encourage you to accept compliments with gratitude and acknowledge the effort you put into your well-being. Instead of saying, "I'm just lucky," try responding with, "Thank you. I've worked at it," or "I'm grateful for my choices and my support system." This perspective not only builds self-esteem but also inspires others to take ownership of their own lives. Word 9, it's too late. Perhaps no phrase is as quietly limiting or as widespread among seniors as, "It's too late." Whether it's starting a new hobby, making a new friend, apologizing for an old mistake, or setting a new goal, those 3 words can slam the door shut on opportunities before you even give yourself a chance. It's a sentiment that can grow louder with each passing year, whispering that the best parts of life are already behind you. But the truth is, as long as you are here, it's never truly too late. There are countless stories of people in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s taking up painting, writing books, learning to swim, or even falling in love. Life continues to offer new experiences if you are open to them. Think about Ed, age 84, who learned to use email so he could keep in touch with his great-grandchildren. At first, he hesitated, thinking, "It's too late for me to learn all this computer stuff." But step by step, with patience and support, he not only learned to send messages, but became the family's go-to for sharing stories and jokes. Experts remind us that change and discovery don't have an age limit. Instead of saying, "It's too late," try saying, "Why not now?" or "I can give it a try." These words open the door to new beginnings and help keep your spirit alive, no matter what the calendar says. Final thoughts as we wrap up this important conversation. Take a moment to reflect on these 9 words and phrases we've talked about today. Which one shows up most often in your life? Which one are you ready to let go of starting now? Changing how we speak to ourselves isn't always easy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to shift our outlook and keep growing, no matter our age. Your words matter, to yourself, to those around you, and to the generations watching how you live. When you catch yourself slipping into old habits, remember that every day is a new chance to choose words that lift you up and bring hope to others. Start small. Replace just one phrase this week and notice the difference in your mood, your confidence, and your connections. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.